Welcome, everybody. You're tuned into V's podcast from MrVeesworld, and thank you for showing up this afternoon, this morning, or this evening, wherever you are. And as you probably know, today's show is about confidence building for men, especially those guys who are shy, who may lack self-esteem, self-value, and you're getting difficulties with the women. So that's kind of what we're going to talk about today and how you can overcome that problem. And just remember, it starts from the inside out. I don't care how good looking you are, how rich, how tall you are, any of that stuff. Women look for, some women look for those things, I will admit. But they look for a person who is confident, who's well within themselves. When I say well, I mean complete. He is there. He is present. He knows what he is doing. He knows how to handle himself. So that is what the show is about today. And let's get things started, shall we? The first thing I want to talk about is the definition of the word confidence. To people, it may, take on different meanings. And I want to clarify on this show what confidence actually is and what it actually entails. Confidence is your inner core belief system that you are aware that you're capable of handling yourself in any and all situations. You are aware that you have various talents or a singular talent that you are very good at, and you can stand on your own 2 feet and rest upon those laurels. Confidence is the ability to look a person in the eye without blinking and tell them without a lack of conviction where you're coming from. Okay? I'd like to give you an example of someone who is confident. The mythological character James Bond. Yeah, he's not a real person, but he kind of is. He's the man that every man wants to be. This guy gets in and out of situations with almost no ruffle in his feather. When he enters a room, he owns the room. He doesn't even say anything. He looks around. He stands there in that nice suit and the bow tie, and he's looking sharp. And all he has to do is stand there. You're going to notice a guy like that, a person like that. And that is called presence. Okay, presence. That means you are here. I just entered the room is what should be coming out of your aura. Okay, and that's what makes people stop and stare and wonder, what is it that makes this guy do that? And it's one word: confidence. And then the next word I would use is charisma. But that's another part of the show. Now, let's use James Bond as our example. This guy gets the ladies. He saves the day. He has adventures. He has guns pointed at him. Guys trying to kill him, but somehow he just comes out on top. And he never questions his own ability. And I think James Bond, I know James Bond is my hero. When I grow up, I want to be just like him. But for now, I have to settle just being myself, Mr. V. And that's good enough for me. So what I'm trying to do is illustrate and draw a picture of a mythological character who embodies and totally encompasses what confidence is. And, getting to the subject matter, I'm sure you're tuning in to hear me talk about how you can utilize confidence to get women. Now, how would I put this? The dating game is a game, okay? I don't like to play games personally, but I do realize it's a game. Now, there's all kinds of challenges that you have to overcome as a male when you're trying to get with a female, because females operate differently. Men are single-minded individuals, and women are multitaskers. Their brains are set up quite differently than ours. Okay, they have different compartments that can hold and access information at any given time, and guys are just one thing at a time. So what I'm saying is, getting back to the game statement I said a minute ago, excuse me, you got to know how to play it, okay? In order to win, you got to know the rules, and you got to know how to play it. Now, I want to give you the easiest tip, the easiest thing you can do. You got to get into a woman's head first. If you want sex, if you want affection, if you want her to want you, or anything, any of that stuff, you got to get in her head, okay? When guys are visual, we just look, oh, there's a pretty girl, there's a breast and nice waistline, and she looks good. That's it. But for women, they have to second guess, what's this guy all about? What's he saying? Is it a pickup line? Blah, 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 blah. Confidence is your secret tool to achieve just that. To get her wondering, get the screws in her head twisting around, trying to figure out what is it that makes you so damn irresistible. And it ain't your good looks, okay? Most of us do not look like Denzel or Brad Pitt, so to speak. Okay? There's a very small percentage of guys have that appeal in their faces. The rest of us have to make do with what we got. So to overcome anything in your life, you need confidence. Okay? So you have to get in a woman's head first. Get her intrigued by you. And again, using James Bond as an example, this guy comes in I don't know, hotel lobby room, for crying out loud, or he walks into a dinner party, and he just comes in and owns the place. Now, if you notice in the films, the femme fatale, she's looking glamorous. She can get any man in that room she wants. But for some reason, this guy's got a look in his eye that intrigues her. And when they get to talking, you'll notice that James Bond delivers like the goods that makes a woman stop in her tracks trying to figure out this guy and why he's got the it factor, the charisma, the charm, the grace, a little bit of the bad boy attitude in there. He's not playing the good guy role. No. He knows what he wants, and then he gets it. That is the embodiment, people, of confidence, especially from a man's perspective. He knows what he wants, and then he takes it. Okay? So, the game, you should play it, but play it effectively, and you have to know when to hold them and when to fold them. Okay? Now, getting women is the easiest thing on the planet as far as I'm concerned. Not because I'm Don Juan, I'm not. I just understand the dynamics that are going back and forth. And where I'm coming from is, for one, I spent a good 15 years performing in front of audiences as an entertainer and also as a club promoter and whatnot. And I watch people, and I'm social, and I'm socialized. And I've had a lot of practice. I know what works and what doesn't work, at least for me. And I can tell you, I've gotten very, very lucky and been very fortunate to have lovely ladies, friends, girlfriends, lovers, if you will. And there have been maybe one or two times where I pinched myself wondering, hey, V, how the hell did you do that with her? Or how did you get her, this total dime piece stunner woman to not only pay attention to you, but to go home with you or become your girlfriend and or wife? And if I look back at my personal timeline, I can really tell you it all boils down to being self-assured and confident. It works, people. It really, really works. So that is your secret weapon, and we're going to talk about how to build your confidence up and sustain it and what tools you can utilize So on part 2, which will be next, I will dive into that. And this is part 1 of Confidence Building for Men. I really thank you for tuning in, but stay tuned for part 2 right after this podcast. There will be another one from MrVeesworld here on YouTube.